Going to the Masters, all good. Oh, clear as day now, Clouty. Look at you, looking good.
Clouty's real clear until he moves.
Yeah,
And then he's the pixels can't keep up to him.
I know, he's that fast.
He's
gotten
so fast that
for
the fucking pixels can't keep up.
no 5G here, mate.
So what's been going on, mate? Thanks for joining us on Gypsy Gang Worldwide, wide.
Yeah, thanks for having us. But just been hanging out, man. Just doing a little bit of riding now that we're going racing, and just living through this coronavirus stuff.
So your first season in the US has been
Well, it's not his first season, but
yeah, that's true. He's been there a while, but this season. So let's just say thanks for my fact checker.
Thanks for the clarification.
Just really saving me there. But no, it's been about as weird a season as you could possibly imagine having, right?
Oh, it's crazy, man. Like when I first came over here, I was meant to come home pretty much at the start of February because I was only meant to do like 4 or 5 rounds. And now I'm stretched out here till the end of June. So it's been a bit of a extended stay, but it's been good.
What's the deal with like visas and stuff with that stuff? Is it just the fact like they've shut the country down? So anyone that's got a visa, it's just kind of one of those deals.
Yeah, well, I got a P visa, so I got a sport visa for 5 years. So
so you're good to stay anyway.
So, yeah, so I can stay for however long. But like Lauren, my girlfriend, she's been on an ESTA, so she has to go home. So it's been a bit of a struggle to find flights and all that type of stuff with all the cancellations. But yeah, she's out of here in another week or two.
So how does she leave if like the borders and stuff are closed here? How's that all work?
No, you got to quarantine on the way back in.
Really?
Yeah. She got to go in a hotel for 2 weeks, man. She can't do anything. She's just stuck in a hotel. And
can't even go home.
Prison.
Fuck that shit. Just overstay your visa.
Luke,
Decided.
How'd that work for you, Jace?
I'd be getting off the plane and just copping the fine and going home. Fuck that.
Oh, dude, what a nightmare of a situation, eh? I was literally thinking, because I didn't think that Laura was over there the whole time with you. And I was like, well, Luke ain't getting arm pump. He's been doing some motos, bro.
Some afternoon sessions, eh?
Afternoon sessions.
Yeah, he's like, you hear like Floyd Mayweather gets up at like 3 a.m. to train. Luke's kind of doing the same thing, but through a website.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, you're lucky though. That worked out all right then.
Yeah, that's been good, but I'll just finish it off and then I don't know, probably come home and I guess I'll have to be in a hotel for 2 weeks, so it's gonna be real good.
Yeah, dude. Fuck, I can't believe they're doing the hotel thing. I got friends that they were in New Zealand and then they had to do quarantine in their house, but it was like a 2-week in-house thing, which like I could do that pretty easy, I reckon.
Yeah.
But a hotel's
a bit fucked.
Fuck that. Not keen.
Oh, dude. And apparently, like, you sometimes you can't even order food or anything like that. You got to order from the hotel, and like you can't even go get some drinks for like alcohol, beer. It's pretty bad apparently, eh?
So who pays for it?
I guess it's the government, man. Like you come off the flight, and then I guess they've got buses that are just waiting to pick people up and just take you to wherever the designated hotel is.
Dude. Oh, well, she's probably going to have 3 seats, I guess, if we're looking for silver linings.
Yeah, at least you'll have heaps of room on the plane.
Yeah, that's a bonus.
So your season over there before it got interrupted has been pretty fucking epic, dude.
Yeah, it's been pretty good, eh? Like the first round obviously was a bit crappy, I crashed out and but I kind of expected I didn't expect to crash out, but I expected it was going to be pretty rough because I'd only ridden the bike like 5 times. So we kind of got through there, and then I did some testing, got the bike a little bit better, and we just kind of progressed a little bit. And then as I was getting faster, we just kind of went through a week of testing, and I pretty much changed the whole bike. Like we went pretty much head to toe and just done like massive amount of testing. And then that's when I come out and got the 5th and the 6th. And, I was like having a lot of momentum and riding really good, and all this stuff happened. But, I'm riding really good. I'm riding a lot better than I was, I think. And we've got our bike even better again. So,
yeah we've had heaps of time on that bike now, which is sick.
Yeah, like that was the hard part, man. Like riding a 450 and then jumping back to a 250 and then
And a
flying to the
different brand too.
US and yeah,
So it's
jet
not even
lag
like
and
you were
this and
on the
that.
same brand and you just stepped down in power. You actually
No.
changed everything.
Yeah, and then when we got here, like we had a bit of delay in getting bikes and stuff. So I got here on like the 10th of December and I didn't ride till pretty much like the 20th.
Mm.
So there was like 10 days that I missed, and then I was riding a stock bike, and then pretty much hopped on a mod bike at A1. So it was just a bit of a, but expected. Your Reef's trying to do stuff from Australia and all this, but then the ball started rolling, and we started figuring it out, and I got way better. So it's been good, eh?
When we were doing we were doing a bunch of the Supercross companions, we were calling Townley, and he was saying that you looked really good, but the bike just didn't look good in the whoops. Is that what you guys
Yeah,
changed?
yeah. So the first round was like the whoops were massive, and like I cartwheeled so big in qualifying, like
Yeah,
I just went end for end, and then like the whoops turned into being jumpers, like because they've
yeah,
been jumping through the whoops. And I had a pretty good start in the main. I think I was in like six, and then I seriously could not jump the whoops. Like I was like a C grader through them, man. I was like rolling through them and just getting past and trying to and I just looked like a total idiot. And then we kind of like, I just started jumping through the whoops at the practice track, and then the whoops were skimmers, and then our bike was just way off. So it was really inconsistent. But
yeah.
then after that, that's when I changed the bike, and then that's where we really worked on the whoops because, like, dude, they're monsters compared to home. It's like totally different.
Yeah, it's a different deal, eh? And then you get guys over there that are not even kind of like front running dudes as such, but they can actually
Yeah,
hit whoops because they've been doing it for so long. So it's like you spend a whole lap, you're
100%.
faster than the dude, make a pass, and then you got some guy that like you kind of don't even know who he is, and then he blitzes you through the
Yeah,
whoops, and you're like, what the fuck, dude? Leave me alone.
Yeah, can you go
that's
away,
what I
please?
always
I'm
go.
like way faster than you, bro.
Yeah, yeah, because I always watch like the CB practices, and like C is a bit of a write off. Like there's always yellow flags out and all that. But
Yeah.
if generally if the B guys can get through the whoops pretty good, you're like, all right, these are going to be quite easy. But when the B guys are struggling, because like those guys can ride, you think I'm like
Yeah.
nervous going out there.
Yeah, definitely, dude. But yeah, so what was the process then of fixing that setup? Was it just literally just testing, or did you get new shit?
Yeah, so it was more so that we just pretty much like I went got some testing with Ricky at KYB. So he's the head dude at KYB that does all the testing and stuff. So he's been working with us, and pretty much he just done a whole new setting, which was stiffer in the fork, stiffer in the shock. I was actually running a shorter shock length at
Yeah.
first, and then it was good at first, and then as I was getting quicker, and that's where we went stiffer, and then I went to the normal shock length, and then we just fiddled around with all the settings, and then that made a massive difference, just going pretty much firmer the whole way around. So, and then obviously as I was getting quicker, and we've got a better engine and all that type of stuff, it started working even better again.
Yeah. Did you expect that you were gonna have to deal with like I guess teething problems in the first those first couple months, like, or did it kind of throw you off a little bit, or did you sort of know what you're in for with that?
Oh, like I definitely knew it was going to be tough, but I didn't think it was going to be as hard as the transition was. Like the main part for me was just figuring because the 450 you can get away with so much. Like I
Yeah,
know it's a heavier bike, but if you come up short on the rhythm section or you overdrive a rhythm section, like you just literally give it a blip and you're good. And
yeah,
that's where I struggled on the 250. Because I was running 450 for 3 years. I just got so used to if I made a mistake, it would just get me out of it.
yeah.
And like, man, in December and January, like the practice track, I was crashing heaps. Like I was crashing nearly like every time I was riding.
Fuck,
And it
that'd
was
get old.
just like the setup wasn't, yeah, like the setup was a little bit off, but it was, everyone was like, oh, what's going on? And I was taking the blame because it was just me figuring it all out.
Yeah,
And I was going to like, we were doing press days and stuff. And like, I crashed at every press day. Just looked like a total idiot. Like, and I was just like, man, like I'm starting to bang myself up. Like I'm having big ones and I'm getting away with it. Like I'm going to get hurt soon.
yeah. There's
And
only
then
so long
that's
you can
when
do
it just
that.
like, yeah. And then I just started like really putting a lot of like bike time in. I was riding like 4 days a week. And we were putting like long days in. And then it just started kind of clicking when I just started figuring the whole bike thing out. Like it was a lot harder than I thought. Like the Yamaha's the fastest 450. And then coming back to a 250 that's, however many horsepower down, that was definitely the toughest thing. And
Yeah.
fitness wise, you've got to be fitter to ride a 250, I think, for sure.
Yeah, really.
Yeah,
He's got to
I
do
think so.
more
Like,
stuff.
I think, I mean,
Yeah.
100%. You just got to, like, you really, like, the biggest thing I can say is you got to, like, exaggerate everything. Like, the seat
Yeah.
bounce, you got to put the effort into it, and getting through the rhythms, you, like, just have to make sure everything's perfect at all times.
Yeah.
So
Did you
that's how
like?
I crashed today.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that's how I crashed today, one man. Like, I just made a small mistake, got a little bit lazy, and freaking just crashed in the rhythm section. Like, just a dumb, stupid thing that would never happen. But it was
Yeah.
just me being lazy, you know?
Yeah, whereas on a 450, you would have gone, oh, fuck, and just gone, hurt, and you would have been sweet.
Yeah, got out of it. Yeah, exactly.
Would have powered out of it.
You've
Yeah.
definitely like. It's pretty hard for a guy at your level to like you watch clips through the week, like all the shit that you put on Instagram. It's kind of hard to see like a speed change, but you can
Yeah.
actually see you've gotten visibly faster between December and right now. Like the clips that you put up, I can't remember sort of what round it was, but it definitely, you started putting up videos and it was like, fuck, he's like getting actually faster. And when you can see it on an Instagram clip for a guy at your level, it's
Yeah.
pretty hard to do, man.
Was it like
Yeah.
like maybe A2, where you where it started happening for you?
Yeah. So A2 is when I, like, nearly whole shotted the main, and then,
Yeah, I was actually sitting
I,
next to Loz, and she nearly
yeah,
burst my eardrum.
yeah, yeah. She's got some Snapchat memories, and she's going ham, eh? But,
Yeah, she
yeah,
was going
yeah.
ham. I was like, wow, I love it.
So that's where it kind of clicked. Like, we did a little bit of testing there, and then I got six there, and then, like, I started getting a bit fitter and just figuring it all out. And then during the week is where we made the gains. Like, the days through the week were a lot better, a lot longer. Like, the riding was, a lot more quality, and then the race was kind of like getting easier almost. And
Yeah.
then when Oakland come around and qualified fifth, and then was leading the heat race. Probably should have won that heat race, but I got a little bit of arm pump. And then, then the main event got fifth, and then that's when it was like kind of clicked. I was like, all right, top five, ran
Yeah.
with these guys. Was in like fourth, right behind third for majority of the race. And then I was sort of like, all right, I can do it. Like, it was just that one little flick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to prove to yourself that that's where you are actually supposed to be.
Well, that's been the hard part, because, like, you walk to the line at A1, and I'm literally like walking down open ceremonies, and I'm like shitting myself. Like, you're walking
Yeah,
of
through, and
course.
there's just 60,000 people, and like, I look
Fireworks
to my
and
right,
all
yeah,
kinds of shit.
and I look to
Yeah,
the right,
yeah.
and I see, like, Dylan Ferrandis and Faulkner and Craig and all these guys that you sit and watch TV on a Sunday at home, and then
Yeah.
I'm next to them, and I'm like, oh, am I good enough to kind of do this? Like, you kind of second guess yourself, like.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
when
of
you
course.
and then when you do it, you're like, all right, like, yeah, they're not much better than you.
Yeah. And what's it been like getting to watch those guys like the Ferrandis and the Faulkner and like kind of getting to be around those dudes? Like, do you see in your head like, if I do this, this, and this, I can run that pace? Or like, what are you sort of like, where's your head at in relation to those dudes?
Yeah, they're gnarly, man. But like, I look at it like it's harder for me because I've come over here, and it's not like home. So for me, I'm learning everything as I go. So they've got
Yeah.
a set schedule, and everything's so perfect. Like, they're at the track, and their bikes are there, and their teams are there, and all that. So that's what me and my brother, because he's over here with me as well, we tried
Yeah.
to adapt that. We tried to, like, set a perfect schedule out, and we'd be at the track here, and we'd do this, and we have a riding. Like, at home, I'd kind of just wing it. I'd be like, oh, I'll do a 30 today, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But, like, over the weekend, I'll sit down and I'll have a schedule made out of everything, like gym, what I'm going to do, what my riding day is going to consist of. And we try and make the riding more quality, because I've noticed that here, like, they're riding through the week. It's like race day. Like,
Yeah.
they've got it all set up perfectly. They've got trainers. They've got, a lot better setup than us.
Yeah.
But I've tried to replicate as best as I can. But in saying that, like, I've ridden some outdoors lately, and, Ferrandis is out there, and he's unreal. Like, I really think Ferrandis is, he's an unreal rider. Like, he's he's probably the one that when I watched all the Supercrosses, like watch back and I watched then some footage and stuff like that. I think he's the best 250 rider.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, I definitely would agree with that. The thing too with America that I don't think people understand until you kind of live there and try get in a routine there is like, it's just generally hard to do shit in America.
Well, that's the thing. I've even found when I've been over there and stuff, it's like, you know, say I fly to Melbourne, right, to go and do a heap of meetings. I can go, all right, I can do something at 9, I can do something at 11, I can do something at 12, and I can do something at 3. In America, you can do one thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, you know, if you're going to see this person here or that person there or whatever. No matter what, you can only really bank on doing
one thing
per day. Which fucking sucks because, like, when I'm there, I want to, like, cram as much as I can in. I want to go see this guy and then this guy and then this guy. But you can only really say, I will definitely be at this place at this time.
Yeah.
This time,
You can't commit to being anywhere after that because you can leave a meeting and what should take you 20 minutes will take you 3.5 hours.
Yeah. And that becomes like a daily thing for you guys, like to try and ride pretty much. You can get up in the morning. You got enough time to like get a coffee on the way to the track, ride, eat some lunch, go to the gym, and then that's it. Your day's done. Like as a rider, in America, you cannot fit anything extra into that unless
It's mad, isn't it?
It's fucking crazy, man. And so that's like, to hear you talk about organization, it's so true. And I don't think people give that much of a thought until they're there and they actually realize like you have to have so much structure just to do anything.
Yeah. Well, with Luke, if he was at home in Sydney, he could go to the gym in the morning, go riding, go to the gym again in the afternoon, go out for dinner, then go and see some friends, fit all this shit all in a day. In America, 100%. You're going to the gym and you're going to go for a ride. That is literally it.
Yeah, without a doubt.
even out in like Temecula, like where it's, I guess, less busy than, say, if you were, you know, up Huntington Beach or like, you know, that way, which is even crazier again. But even down in Temecula, it's like going from...
Well, you come back from Parla on an afternoon, like if you hit afternoon traffic, it takes... I've driven from my house to the Parla exit in like 18 minutes before, like, because I used to leave to go surfing. So I'd turn right at the Parla exit to go surf. And then same like 18-minute drive, dude, I've sat there for an hour and 45. You're just like, what the fuck are we doing here, man?
It's fucking next level, isn't it? It really is.
Yeah, people just don't get it. And I think that
they can't
kind of wears on people.
Oh, yeah, it does, man. Like, it took me a while because like I said, in Australia, I didn't have that schedule. I was kind of like, oh, I'll just ride here and do this and that.
Yeah.
And then I got over here and the adjustment was like, you know, you're riding 3 or 4 days a week and you know, like this is what you're doing. You're at the track at 9, you leave at 12, you back, lunch, train. By that time, it's 5:36. It's like, all right, dinner, bed, do it all again. And it took me a little bit. I was like, you know, fuck, I'm getting a bit kind of like tired here and all that stuff. But like the more you do it, it kind of, you know, it gets easier. But obviously it's been hot now. It's summer too. So the riding's been even harder. So that's been a hard thing to get used to because it gets hot here.
Dude, Jeremy Martin, I remember I used to go to Parla. Jeremy Martin would be in summer wearing a black hoodie doing 40-minute motos at Parla.
Yeah.
Before the
he still does it now,
he was still
man.
an amateur.
It's hectic.
Yeah, he still does it now.
Really?
Yeah, like he rides even in winter. Like I know it's a bit colder here, but he's always riding with like a bit of a jacket on. Like he's always riding with something over the top of it. Always.
Hectic, eh? Some of those dudes, like, you sort of learn over there that to be a top dude in the sport that we do, you just got to be a fucking weird animal. You do though.
Yeah.
Like Dunge, weird animal.
Yeah.
Jeremy Martin, weird animal.
I feel like Clouty. I feel like Clouty's like a good mix of like normal dude and good rider
weird animal.
And weird animal. You're like you're not tipping the scales on the weird animal too much. You're still a legend.
Just right 50-50.
Yeah, you're like 50-50.
Yeah, no, I think I've become a bit more of a weird animal, definitely over here because like there's nothing
else to
at
do.
Home you go, no, like at home you go to the track and you kind of, you see a mate or something and you go and talk to him and how you going, blah, 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 and sit down and have a chat. But here it's just like everyone's friendly, but it's like,
it's just
you
all
just
business.
sit there and do your own it's all business. Like you don't ever walk up to someone. It's just like everyone's kind of just staring at you and you just like,
yeah, you're not sitting on the back of someone's ute talking shit for 45 minutes. That's literally all I do when I go riding.
But no, it's been cool. It's been cool to see everyone have like the work ethic and all that type of stuff. Cause like, it's just, you do your moto, you come in and instead at home, you're the one that's prepping your bike. Like you've got your mechanic just getting you ready to get back out there and get amongst it again.
What Supercross tracks have you been able to ride? Have you been riding the La Paglia one or?
Nah, so I've got like this guy that I've become friends with, and he's just got like these kids that have grown up. Just kind of, he's trying to bring them through the ranks, and they're pretty cool riders, and they're good. And I just been riding at Paris, that like state fair.
Yeah.
And we get on Honda every now and then. Like when all the guys were going back to the East Coast, we were riding out at Honda. But now that everyone's going to be back on the West, I don't know how that's going to go. But
that's a bit shit, man. I feel like they should just like, if you put a bike in the fucking top 5, you should be allowed to ride it.
Yeah,
and if it's the right color.
Yeah, if it's like if you're on a Honda, you're in the top 5 in a main event of any race. Okay, welcome to the track, bro. Like that's how it should work.
At one point,
fucking annoys me that
at one point, I was the only Honda 250 in the whole class because Mitch hurt himself, my teammate Jet hurt himself, and then Craig hurt himself. So like I was like the only one, and I wasn't able to really ride out there.
Fuck them.
But I understand. I do understand it. Like the guys, they spend a lot of money. Like they get it prepped and they put their own money in. The manufacturers pay rent and all that. Yeah. And then we're just like this little Penrite Honda team that's coming along and just we're no one really.
Yeah. No, I feel like if you're top 5 on a red bike, you should be allowed to ride at the red track. That's just my personal opinion. But it's sick that you guys
maybe you should build a Supercross track then and give Luke the keys.
Yeah, that's it. I'm doing it. the Gypsy test track.
The Gypsy pound.
Oh, that's funny. Dude, off topic, but I think we need to do Gypsy Fest now that Day in the Dirt's not happening.
Gypsy Fest.
I think that should be an
Luke's
event.
going to miss it because he's going to be in quarantine.
Yeah.
I'll have to make it home, mate. I'll have to put in the calendar and make sure I'm out of quarantine in time.
Yeah. We'll plan it around you getting out. It'll be like a Luke's out of jail /
Yeah. Well, I feel like Day in the Dirt is like our Super Bowl, and now it's been taken from us.
Well, it has been taken from us, and my 3-peat's been taken from me.
Yeah, but see, that's the reason to do Gypsy Fest, because Sam gets the chance to win his 3-peat. He's been watching the Michael Jordan doco flat out.
I have.
He just wants it. He wants those rings.
Have you been watching that, Luke?
No, I haven't, man. I just
You need to.
He's a weird animal.
You need to, because you'll learn how to be a fucking savage.
I did watch Tiger King though.
Speaking of savages.
Speaking of savages and weird animals.
Yeah. It's like a perfect
50-50
blend of savages and weird animals, but
yeah,
like
the
an extreme
50-50 mix.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, I think Gypsy Fest needs to happen. We need to find somewhere that we can do it and just have like a big.
But it has to be like kind of shit though.
Yeah, it
like,
has to be terrible.
Like not a good track at all. Just like real shit paddock with heaps of rocks.
Cow shit everywhere.
Dead grass. Maybe a car wreck.
And then like
something dangerous to cut yourself on.
And then we like may or may not go.
Yeah, we might not go.
Oh fucking hell! Are you over Melbourne yet? Have you got over the night of racing that went down?
Yeah, it is what it is, eh? Like, yeah, like I'd love to be able to say I'm standing here as the champion. I'm not gonna lie, but the way the day was going, man. Oh, thanks, Stan. That's all that matters to me. Like the way that day was going, like I walked into the last 3 races and like not being cocky, I was just like, I'm going to win this. Like, you know, qualifying fastest, Super Pole, and the way it was going. And then yeah, obviously when I went down in the first one, and that was weird because I wasn't even trying to really go up the inside and make contact or anything with JB. I was just trying to go up the inside and just be, just show him I was there. And the track was just so slick.
It was slippery, eh?
And then it just went downhill. I think our bike setup was a little bit off, but that was kind of my call. And it just snowballed a little bit. But, it is what it is. I'm still young and, JB's got 10 years on me. So,
yeah.
I think there'll be a time I'll be on the top step, so it's all good.
Yeah, I was sort of not to like bring that up just to be like a fucking a
dog.
Yeah, but I think that it's worth saying that
you're just like, oh, here's a little wound. I might stick my finger in it.
Yeah, you're still bummed about throwing away the championship, bro.
Yeah.
No, but like I think that if you when we look back on it in a few years' time, it'll probably be the best thing that happened to you in a way, like...
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, and I was wondering if, like, you kind of have seen it like that yet, because, honestly, bro, you've improved so much just since December, and it's like, you wonder the headspace that you would have got from, like, winning that championship, probably a lot of extra pressure for this season in particular, it's like it would have been cool to to go in there as like, oh, this is the champ from Australia, but like commentators would have been talking to you, more people would have been talking to you, but all that would have done in my mind is add a little bit more pressure. And then if you think about the fact that you've now got you sort of get there, the bikes aren't fully dialed, the program's not fully dialed. Can you imagine if you went in with the weight of that championship and then everything wasn't kind of dialed, and then you didn't kind of look like that same dude that won Melbourne or whatever? So it's sort of almost seems like it's worked out for the better in a way to like let you really rip this year with sort of without that pressure.
And then it might have also been sort of like one of those things where, if you had won a title, like would you have still made the same decision to go and take that chance to go to the US and do what you did? Like, you might have been like, well, fuck, I won the title. I just kind of need to keep doing what I'm doing here. Like this way, you've been able to sort of like gamble on it a little bit and try and like do what you're doing.
I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. Like, I think everything happens for a reason, to be honest. Like, I'm a believer in that for sure. And like I said, going into that season, like, if anyone's going to beat me, it'll be Brayton.
That's a good assumption.
Just...
Fuck, what a guess!
and just to, like, as I progressed and started, getting better and better and better, and that was just my goal, to get better, to beat JB, and then that's what we did. And, unfortunately we didn't win, but I think I come out kind of a better person from it and learnt, because if I'm in that situation at home again, like I've been there, I've done it, and it won't happen again. Like, I know it won't happen
also
again.
Like how you could not have had a better person to race against to prepare you for what you're doing now, because obviously Justin's an awesome dude and also like an amazing rider. So like for you to actually be able to spend a couple of seasons, I guess, like dicing with him, you've probably learnt a lot from him by racing him, but then also, just being around him as well and seeing how like, chill and calm he is and how he goes about his business and shit's probably helped you like a lot.
100%. Like having JB come to the last 3-4 years, however long it's been, like it's been really good, because like 17, four in a row.
How about you fucking rub it in a bit more, mate?
Yeah, he beat
four times, Luke.
He beat Luke Clout at the finale.
But like seeing how much closer like each year I was getting, like it was getting way better. Like 17, I was a bit off. 18 on the KTM, like getting a bit better. Then 19, it was like, all right, like I've beaten this guy. I've gotten better. I'm getting better. Then the American opportunity came, and I was like, I think I'm ready to go now. Like, this is time for me to go and give the US a shot, because I've stepped up so much in this 3 years. Like, it has to be the time to go and give the US a go for sure.
Yeah.
Dude, I just think it's so crazy, and it's such like a wasted opportunity for other dudes. Like, to me, over the last few years, when you're on a KTM, that's the first year I really noticed it in 18. I was like, fuck, man, Clouty's like, He's like actually taking this serious.
Yeah, it's good as like a measuring stick, I guess. Like Justin being in Australia, I think's helped the sport so much.
Fuck yeah.
In Australia because
100%.
And because of the dude that he is as well, like he's so like just cool and accepting and just, you know.
He just made zero enemies. I feel like he made everybody. He was like obviously winning, and like, you know, you can look at it as like he's taking a ride, he's taking prize money, blah blah blah. If you want to look at it like that, but in my mind, the JB thing, like his commitment to the Australian series, is like what you're doing over there is what everybody should have done, and like that's the real payoff for Justin Brayton coming. Is now we've got like a Luke Clout that's in America getting a top fives, and it's like I was fucking scratching my head going like, why is more people not looking like Luke Clout right now and taking this as serious? Because everyone else seemed to just accept that they were going to get beaten by Brayton in a way. And it's like, when you weren't even capable of beating him, you had it in your mind that you were going to use this as an opportunity.
It's a stepping stone, all right?
Yeah.
You know? And I mean, I guess like he's probably played a big part in that too, because he's obviously, you know, brought Justin in, and then he's been able to work with Luke to get Luke there. So it's like, you know, it's cool to see, I guess, like the you know, just thinking bigger than this little fish pond, you know. And
that's, I think, Luke, like you're probably the dude that took it the most serious as an opportunity to be like, fuck yeah, this is a chance now.
Yeah, 100%, man. Like I'll totally agree with that. Like when JB came over and like, you know, he's a top dude in the US, like he's the real deal. It makes you think, all right, like this guy's gonna have his program down to a T. He's gonna have his bike good. Like they're already better than us, and they're going to be better again because everything's perfect. So I like looked at it like, all right, 18, you know, on the KDM, I was like still a bit young and done some dumb mistakes and all that. But that's when I was like, oh, I need to train hard. I need to like, because this is going to show if you can do it. Yeah. And this is going to show if American teams are looking at you to potentially have it. And then that kind of went good. And then 19, obviously, I was like, you know, I had my program better. And then that's when I was riding really good. And I like picked my training up again. And I just took it like super serious. And like you said, like I personally don't think people in Australia take it serious enough. Like I know that it's not big enough, as big as Europe and US, like in the whole overall scheme of it. But there's opportunities to potentially be able to come over and make it happen, you know. And I don't think the guys train hard enough, and I don't think they ride hard enough, and I don't think that's just me being a personal and I'll admit I probably didn't do it enough either when I was like 18, 19, 20 when I was winning the championships on circuit.
Nah.
Yeah, you got to some of that stuff you've got to mature into and work out as you go along. I mean, shit, like 5 years ago, I wasn't as good at, you know, anything as I am now, because you work it out. Yeah, exactly. You work it out. Yeah.
You get to a point too where you just you have to make a choice of how serious you want to take something, because like
100%.
I mean, it's the same with the podcast. It's the same with Sammy with Fist. Like there's fucking moment that you sort of like really make a choice to go like, it's almost like you just accept.
It's like, this is what I'm doing and I'm going to do it.
And you accept the sacrifices
you get in
have
what
to
you
make.
put out, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you literally accept. You're like, "Fuck, man, I'm gonna have to do all this extra shit that I don't really want.
How it works.
That I don't really want to do." You're like, "Fuck, I don't know if I like want to be in the studio that much." And then you're like, "Fuck, I kind of want to have a cool podcast though."
Yeah.
And then it's the same.
I can have a shit one and do fuck all, or I could have a really sick one and do heaps.
Yeah, and it's the same as a rider. Yeah, and Fist, it's like the same shit, right?
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. Like I even like Ferris, I'd say Ferris elevated it as well. Like his program was really solid. So like Ferris was one that elevated it in the outdoors, JB and Supercross. You know, like I was signing on to go and, you know, do the best I can and win. I didn't want to get smoked every weekend, and I knew those guys were training. So I was like, you know what, like I'm going to sort my shit out and give myself the best shot, because like. I look at things like, I think you might have said it, Sam, when you look at things 5 years down the track of where you want to be, like that's where I looked at it. Like a few years ago, I was like, oh, I want to be in the US in 5 years, or, you know, so I need to start now to get to where I want, because it's not just going to happen.
It's no different when you're riding. When you come out of a corner, you got to just look to the next corner. You don't look to a meter in front of you at the rock that's in front of you.
So, yeah. So all the hard work for me to start in like 2017 was to hopefully be in America in 3, 4, 5 years. You know, like, and it's obviously a little bit later. Yeah. So it's been good, but like even me sitting here now, but like it's cool. I'm over here. I've got some top 5s, but like I still want more. You know, like I want to be on the podium. Like I want to be on a factory team. Like there's heaps of goals that I want to be able to tick, and like I'm not going to stop until I want to be on the box. And like,
you can be on the box. Like you ride good enough in Supercross to be on the box. Like you have to, and there's a level too where I've always seen guys where it's like they want to be on the podium, but they don't.
Do they really, really want it?
But they don't necessarily even believe it.
No.
You know, like there's a difference between like knowing you can and thinking you can. And there's a lot of people that like think they can be on the box or want to be on the box, but like I feel like you even know it. Like, yes, I can be on the podium.
I mean, I think as well, like even those races that I was at the start of the year, you know, there was such a different. I can't remember exactly, but I remember in the heats or something, like you kind of like struggled and it kind of like looked like you didn't like believe that you should be there. Or so I think I sent you a message on like on Instagram, like between the heat and the main, and it was like, dude, like fuck, you're supposed to be here. Don't stop thinking that you don't deserve to be here, and then you come out in the main and fucking killed it. All me. but in all seriousness, it's just that's what it is. I think like it's so much of like, you know, having that energy that it's like, you know, you deserve to be here. It's not like you haven't been like handed you haven't like won some weird prize to just be there. Like you've worked and you've earned you've earned your way to be there. You know, like you're one of the best Supercross riders in the world. Like you're supposed to be there.
Yeah.
And you know, you just got to believe, well, you've just got to know that because that's the truth.
Yeah. And that took me a little bit, man. Like I said, when I'm walking down there, I was like, you know, the doubt. And then when I started, like Oakland was the one that really like went, all right, this is it. It's gone good. Then San Diego again, like qualified top 5, got 6 in the main. I was like, all right, like it's happening. Then I was like, you know, podium, this is going to happen. Like podium in the last, you know, 4 rounds that we have. And then obviously all this stuff's going on, but the goal is still like we'll be on the box. Like that's where I want to be at. So
if you get on the podium,
looking forward to it.
I do not want to be sitting next to Lars.
Oh, mate,
bro.
She'll probably be in quarantine. She'll be in quarantine.
She'll be in quarantine. She'll break all the windows in the hotel.
Oh, imagine that, mate. Oh,
wait, so
Jay, she goes clean off. It's the best. It's the best thing. Like, it's so rad. She's so passionate. It's unreal.
That's right. You need that shit too, eh? You need that kind of energy in your corner.
And you've got the most passionate team owner there is in the universe.
Oh, mate, I've seen him cry.
So she'd blow up one room and you would blow up the other room. It'd be unreal.
Oh, mate.
I fucking hope. I hope even like for just his sake of how much that motherfucker has put into the sport. Like
so gnarly. I love it.
He does deserve to have a podium in the US. Old Konski. Like without a doubt.
I agree, man. Like he's done so much like in, you know, this short space. It's insane. Like when we first negotiated the contract and whatever, it was like, oh, we'll go race. It'll just be out of the sprinter van. Yep, no worries. Whatever. Like I just want to race.
All of a sudden you've got a semi.
Good, you know. Walk, and then I'm like, no worries, sweet, sprinter van, that'll do me. And then, you know, get over here, and then your reef flies over a few days later. Yeah, we've got a truck. I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah, just got a semi. All right. So that next thing, 2 days later, there's a semi here, and things getting wrapped, and I'm like, oh, Jesus. Yeah, just went and got the front of the truck, all good. Yeah, we got that sorted. The thing's getting wrapped at A1, you know, everyone's there sorted. We're getting our stuff all wrapped and all finished, and then like, you know, A1 come along and it just got done, like pretty much race day, it's all sorted, and it's just like me and Yarif kind of took a step back, you know, and had a look at the truck and just look at everything he's kind of set up, and it was pretty surreal, man. Like for what he's done it was like, I think it was 6 weeks he sorted it all out, and he's been in Australia, like, you know, negotiating over here while he's at home. Like I don't think he's slept since Anaheim. Seriously, I don't reckon he has.
Nah. Man, he's like the poster child for getting shit done.
Even when I used to
He
work
just tunnel visions and just goes. I fucking love it. It's so good.
Yeah, like even when I worked at Stroke, man, he had like a little setup where he used to just sleep behind his desk.
Yeah.
And like I'd leave there, get back in the next day, and like he's just still there. He was fucking like making it happen, eh? You just gotta love the grind, I guess. I feel like that's just anyone that's successful. They just fucking figure out how to enjoy the grind.
That's one thing. Even like after, you know, when I was negotiating and talking to Reef, I was like, you know, the America thing was a massive draw for me to go over to Honda, but when I spoke to Reef and just realized like how much he loves it and puts everything in, and you know, sometimes it's not pretty the way he gets it done, but you know, there's always a bike on the track. When it comes time to race, there's a bike there ready to go, and everything's ready to race.
Yeah, no, it's definitely true. Speaking of ready to race, what are your thoughts when you heard about the Salt Lake thing, the seven rounds? You've only got 2 rounds though, right?
Yeah, so we got three, but 2 west and then an east-west.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Salt Lake thing was a little bit of like a random thought, because obviously this Phoenix thing was like, that was it. Like the Phoenix is happening May 15. That was why, because I had a month off after riding because, you know, this whole thing, we're not racing until September or whenever it was. So I was like, oh, I'll have some time off. Then that started. So then everyone was riding, you know, May 15th is it. Like due date, whatever. And then it come closer, and then they cancelled out that. So I was like, man, what are they going to do? Like if they're cancelling this and pushing it back, like it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Like that's their target date. And then, there was just talk of May 31st, and then Salt Lake comes on. But yeah, I'm happy that we're racing, man. Like we need to be doing some racing. Like it's boring sitting here doing nothing. But
so what's the deal? So like, with Salt Lake, that's an elevation, right?
Yeah, but it's not as high as me and Ben actually thought. It's only 1,200 meters.
All right, so
it's not that.
So the
bad.
250 is not going to be like riding an 80 then.
It'll still be a bit slower. Like it's still it's still high, but it's not
110 riding. You're like racing a 110.
Yeah. Hey, you think you got extra seat bound shit?
Yeah. You're gonna have to pick up your bike and throw it.
Yeah, no, like it'll be. I'm
entering because everyone's going single, double, single.
Yeah. We're not going to be able to do all the big rhythms, but like I'm looking forward to it because like I've looked at some videos of the past few races, and it's kind of like a real dry, crumbly, dusty. Like
it looks like a shitty Australian practice track.
It looks just like Wollongong Supercross, man. Like,
you're on then.
But like no, it'll be good, man. Like I'm just excited to go racing. Like we've just been sitting here twiddling our thumbs, going like, if I'm not racing,
it must be so weird actually just not knowing what you're doing when you're doing it, or like really anything.
Oh mate, like it was just like I was just not even training. I was like, why should I get up and cycle? Like I've got some time to have off, so I'm just gonna have it off. And then it was like, oh, we're racing, like, you know, everyone's ready, and then that got cancelled. It was just, but to have a firm set date, like it's good now. But like I hope they don't have a spike in cases or something, because like then that'll stop it all. But it seems like it's gonna go ahead.
And so what's your plan? Are you gonna stay there for the full 3 weeks, or?
Yeah, I don't know, man. So like, we haven't really been given many details. We've just obviously been given the schedule of all the races, which is like Sunday, Wednesday or something. Yeah. But I think we're just going to get there, and then probably I'll just stay, because I think if you get there, you've got to quarantine or something for like a few days, like 2 days before it or something. So we might just get there and then just stay. Like I think it'll be. Yeah,
I think everyone has to get tested 2 days before.
Yeah, because I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, if you did want to go backwards and forwards, you wouldn't even have to fly, because Salt Lake's not that far from where.
No, it's like 8-9 hours.
Yeah, it's like 8 hours or something. Yeah, it's like 8 hours. So like, but that's just the.
It's a good drive too, to be honest.
Like, yeah. Okay. But the annoying thing is, like, you can go home and train, but you're gonna have to get tested, and then you're gonna have to be there 2 days before, and it's just like, is it worth going home to do a day or two of riding? Like you might be able to find a track in Salt Lake somewhere and just stay there.
Dude, it's so beautiful there too as well. Like if you can, man, like, and there is time, like try and get out and see some of the national parks and stuff around there. Like it's pretty crazy, man. There's literally nothing like that in Australia.
Yeah, I'll have a look for sure. I've seen some like obviously like Googled it and stuff. It looks real nice, so I'll definitely explore. Like we're going to be there for what? I think like 11, 12 days or whatever it is. So we're going to have a few off days. I'll go and have a look for sure.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool spot. And yeah, the drive from California to Utah, like they've got all these crazy national parks and stuff that are fucking sick.
What is it like? The real rocky, like the roads that are going through? It's real rocky and that on the sides and stuff.
All the big
sick,
like it's so nice, like going through there, and then you go. It's Colorado straight after that.
After that's Colorado, yeah.
I drove through there on the way to when I drove to X Games last year.
Yeah, didn't you?
Fucking unreal.
Yeah, you went for a bit of a trip, didn't you? You were going.
Yeah, I drove from California to Minnesota and back. Just cause in a van that I paid like $1,700 for, with Harry Bink's freestyle bike in the back of it. I slept with Harry's bike for like 2 weeks.
That's good. When are you coming, Sam? When are you going to get over here? Whenever
I don't know. Like I don't know what the deal is. Like when are you allowed? Like I
don't think anyone knows.
I don't really. I'm not much into like staying in a hotel room for 2 weeks. So probably not for ages.
Dude, Australia's the worst for it. Like you can't fly out. You're not allowed to do this, and like it's like all right.
And we've had
and then
we've had like 6 people cough because of coronavirus too. It's fucked up.
I know. I look at the Australian statistics and I'm like, come on, mate. Like, it's like 10 people in a pub. Like, come on.
Isn't it weird though? Like, the one thing that like trips me out is like how, like you see people flying backwards and forwards overseas, right, in these planes at the moment, and there's like 5. There's like what?
They'd be losing money on that shit, yeah.
They'd be losing ridiculous amounts of money. Like, I mean, because how many people are normally on a flight from there? Like,
all of them.
Like
everyone.
Shit tons.
Yeah, 400 people.
But what, like, and you just see, I mean, how could that even go close to paying for itself?
Yeah.
I mean, it obviously doesn't, but
no.
It must be like a duty of care thing that they have to run X amount of flights for X amount of, I don't know.
Like,
yeah. But dude, America's going insane over there. Like I've been trying hard not to follow it that much, but it's like it's so political over there. Like in Australia, the whole coronavirus thing, like it hasn't really infiltrated politics in terms of like not Democrats, Republicans, like Labor, Liberal. Like it's not like it's us versus them and fucking.
But in America, it's all us versus them,
and that's why it's just shut down, because it's like it's all. And the worst thing is it's an election year over there, so it's like
dude,
it's the perfect storm, man.
Looking into it. I've been looking into it. Like it's just like I've been looking into it heaps because like I watch the news every morning and that before we go riding or whatever, and just the gang up on Trump. The gang up on Trump is insane.
Yeah.
Like all they do is just like it's so fake news. Like I'm sitting there watching it and it's just like he doesn't even say some of the stuff he says and they just like edit it in or something.
Yeah.
And it's like I just reckon it's a big thing to get Trump out, man. Like honestly, like that's just what it looks like.
Yeah. No, it's getting sketchy, and like the crazy thing is with the states the way that it is. So like California is just a blue state. So it's like you watch anything in California, you read anything in California, like all of California, blue state, anti-Trump. And then you go to Texas, Tennessee, like any of those, Alabama, any of those, like North Carolina, it's red state. And then it's like, it's just so divided, like it's so crazy. So like what you're seeing there is purely based on where you live. And it's like, so the information you get given is because of where you're at. And it's like, it's so 100%. Hectic it's like a global, pandemic. It affects everybody. And it literally just gets like stopped because this party and this party. And it's like, fuck, man. Like at some point, like, can we just get shit rolling again? Let's figure out the election after we can all do shit.
Yeah. We need to put all that shit on hold so we can sort out the world. And after the world's sorted out, then we can argue.
Then you fuckheads argue.
Oh, it's insane, man. But it is what it is. Like
I've seen
like Australia should.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, Australia, like the amount of cases and that, like it just, like you just think it'd be starting back up, man. Like it's just ridiculous, but it is what it is.
The average age of death from coronavirus is older than the average age of death.
Oh.
No,
that took a second for me to work out. I was like, my brain not working.
How fucked up is that? Like, the whole world has stopped because people are dying that are older than they normally die. Like, why is this a red flag? When you put it in that context, it's just like, huh? It's like if you go, yeah, so the average age of death, I don't even know what it is, but say it's like 65 years old. And then you're like, all right, that's our average age of death. And now because of this coronavirus or whatever it is, people are now dying at 33. You'd be like, fuck. All right, wow.
Fuck, that's heavy.
But then you're like, the average age of death is 65 and people are dying at 85. Because you'd be like, yeah, what do you mean? Old people die, right? It sounds insensitive, but at some point it's like, fuck, we just gotta be able to do shit. We got races to watch.
100%.
That was a joke.
Heavy.
Nah, but I mean, yeah, we definitely. It's a fucking weird season though to be interrupted the way that it.
You reckon
that it has been? Like, fuck, in terms of just racing fans.
So, what is your plans going forward, Luke? Like, are you doing outdoors or like? I feel like I probably should know this.
I don't know yet. Like, I'll finish off here. Obviously, like the 7 races, like when they done, and then. Maybe see if we can do some outdoors. I don't know, like
in the US or in Australia.
Yeah, I'd like to do a few in the US. Like,
would you do it on 450 or 250 still?
I'd do outdoor 450. I think
cheaper.
I think just cheaper bikes. You know, the factory bikes are just that much better when they're outdoors again. So, yeah, I think 450. I'd like to. So we'll just kind of see how it goes and. Because the motocross starts like a week after the Supercross finishes. So.
Oh wow!
It starts at Redbud, right?
Yeah.
Dude, it's worth just staying just to fucking ride Redbud, man.
Just do Redbud.
Yeah, from what I'm hearing, it's July 4th, but I don't know if it was Redbud. But I would think it would be July 4th weekend.
Yeah. Oh, I thought I saw something
like all the
that it was Redbud.
Because like Michigan's, obviously there was real bad cases and. Then like Washougal was having bad cases, like Washington State, and then obviously New York. So they were talking about like, are they going to be able to run those rounds and all this type of stuff. So the schedule, I don't think the schedule that's come out is the legit schedule, but
so they're just going to kind of like dodge the states that are struggling.
I would assume because like if they can't have crowds, I don't know if they'd be racing outdoors if they can't have a crowd.
Yeah. But
so Supercross, no crowd.
No.
Yeah. Isn't that going to be weird?
No crowd, yeah.
That'll be super weird for you. It'll be like a practice day.
Yeah, that's what it's like. Yeah, the main event going down and like just no opening ceremonies and none of that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just going to be
It'll feel super weird.
It's just be... Yeah, it will. Like, it. Yeah, I don't know. It will be... Yeah, it'll be interesting.
How much are you like aware of the crowd though? Once you're actually racing,
and can you actually hear Loza from the track?
I can hear Lauren. Yeah, like when you're walking down, obviously you take note, but when you're racing, like you don't.
Yeah.
But when there's a pass or a takeout, like at A2 when Ferrandis took out Craig, like man.
Oh, did he take out Craig?
Oh, I missed that.
I think he might have. I think
they made contact. It wasn't a takeout.
I think he just went up the inside and they kind of, like Craig hit him, I
think.
Yeah, dude, that stadium was going nuts, man. Like I was like next to where Jet, like where Ferrandis like tried to pass Jet and then he just like pinned it down there, like outside of that like rhythm section. I was like, me and Loza were sitting like right there, and it was nuts.
I feel sorry for Ferrandis too. Like heat of the moment, it happened. Like is what it is, whatever. But like when he's on the podium and they're booing him, and
it sucks.
The next week they're booing him, and like you go on his social media and the amount of
it was heavy.
It's heavy. People need to remember at the end of the day, he's just a dude trying to do his job.
Dude, like, what are you going to do for a paycheck?
Yeah,
what
Craig was going too slow.
Like, people do.
Man, if Craig was in the way of you, I would expect you to do the same thing.
But like people do crazy things for money, man. Like crazier than that. Like he's just in the heat of the moment racing. Like I'm sure. Like I don't know for sure because I haven't had a factory contract. But second to third, like third to second, second to first, it's going to be a big bump up in the bonus money.
Oh, dude, definitely, man. And you know what? When I was talking to Townley the other day, he was just talking about Ferrandis in general, and he was saying like when you're that dude riding that well, you just see through people. Like you're not actually. He wouldn't have even been looking at Craig as though like he had to pass him. He was just like, "See ya." You know, there's just that sort of headspace where it's like he's sort of not even there to him.
Yeah, he's just get to the front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chad just texted us too.
But...
Oh, did he?
He said...
What did he say?
He said, sorry, boys, just finished up now. Jumping in Supercars celebrity practice at Bathurst.
Oh, sick. Chad's doing the V8 Supercars.
Chad's a full-time sim driver now.
Oh, that sim game. I've seen that. It looks pretty sick.
It's so
Townley,
sick.
Townley really likes it. Like, Townley's real into it, eh?
He's off it.
He's real off it. He hates it.
He hates it. He'd hate it. He would hate it.
He was saying
whiskers.
He rang me the other week. He rang, like him and Jace must have been on the phone. They called me in.
Yeah, that's right.
And then he goes, don't say anything. I'm just going to ask you a question. Say yes or no. And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, do you think sim racing's cool? And I went, oh yeah. And he just hung up.
Dude, Chad's fucking good though. I got my setup, and then it was a couple weekends ago. He calls up and he's like, "Righto, go on this, go on this, go on this." We rode. He was doing a race on the Tuesday around this track, like an e-race, and so we both got in identical Mercedes AMG GT3 cars.
Sounds expensive.
He emailed. It was $11. He sends me like the car setup. So we're literally in an identical car. We're on the same track. Like if he nudged me, like I felt it. You know what I mean? And then so we're like doing laps. We're in our earpiece together, and he's coaching me around this track. Like they're so insane, dude. Like I can see why everyone is just so into it.
Yeah, it's sick, eh?
Don't tell Townley though, because you'll write you off.
Fuck Townley. He's old. Oh, whiskers.
They don't have that shit in Rotorua.
Oh, fuck.
Over in New Zealand.
In Zidbu.
Oh, that's good.
Thanks heaps for coming on, bro. It was sick to have a chat, dude. And but you're doing everybody so proud, man. Like you've absolutely been fucking killing it, and the way that you've embraced the challenge and dealt with all the shit that's sort of going on. Like, yeah, everyone at home is super stoked for you.
Yeah,
so.
it's so sick, mate. It honestly makes watching the races so much better for me, like personally. You know, having a horse in the race, you know, it's good.
No, I appreciate it, and like, it's sick to like know how many like Australians are watching and kind of the support, and obviously when all the stuff wasn't going on, the amount of Aussies that were at the races, and the people that you kind of don't even know those people, but you've got that Australian connection, and the people that you meet, and
automatic best mates.
Like that. It's automatic best mates, so. It's been it's been sick, man, and I've had a lot of people reach out to me and stuff like that. So it's sick. So these last few races, I'm going to be giving it everything. So I want to be on the podium and get an Aussie on top. So that's the plan. And obviously, we're going to have
all
Jet.
super proud of you. So
and bonus points.
Appreciate it, guys. Hey.
Bonus points for not being one of those fuckwits that has an accent in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, mate. How is it, eh? They go to America for like 2 weeks and they come back full yank.
Go for a holiday and come back Californian.
I can't do it. Man.
Oh, that's funny. It's a fucking piss off, but when you're like ordering food and shit.
It's so hard.
You're like, you can't order anything. Like, whenever I had to do any banking stuff, like, I used to just pass it to, it was either my ex-girlfriend or Nate Ramsey. I'd be like, hey, I need you to talk to the bank. I need you to, because...
Dude, I was somewhere last time and I was trying to order a drink and she gave me fries. And I'm like, no, I said drink. And she's like, here's your fries. I'm like,
you should say it now, man, because we've had to wear masks.
The mask.
Like, we had to do that.
Shit.
So I've So they can't lip read, like, you know, when you lip read, like they can't hear anything. Like it's just this, and it's like, man, it's talking to a wall. Like honestly, they have no idea what we're saying. But like, yeah, it's been like a piss take, honestly.
My favorite was, I don't know why, dude, but like Americans could not understand me saying ice.
Ice. It's water for me.
Anytime I'd say ice, I'd have to go. There's like ice, and I was like, frozen square cubes of water.
Water.
It was fucking hectic, man. I just couldn't order ice for 8 years.
It is hard, isn't it? It's so crazy how we, like, our accent just fucks with them so hard.
Yeah.
That you can't, like, sometimes it's so frustrating. Sometimes you can't get your point across. Like, you're just trying to order a fucking bottle of water, and they're like looking at you like you're speaking Spanish.
Yeah, it's full. Well,
sorry, I don't speak Spanish.
Down, eh?
What's that?
You just got to slow down and just like be real dramatic with your words. Like just fucking stretch it out.
Yeah, over enunciate everything.
Yeah, 100%. That's what I've noticed.
Righto, dude. Well, thanks again, man. And we'll try and check in. We're going to be doing the Supercross Companions live. Might even get you to FaceTime us after one of the mains or in between or something like that if you want to hang out in between.
Sure,
we'll give you a pep talk.
Yeah, Sammy can give you another pep talk that gets you on the box.
Yeah, for sure. No,
I'll pump up your tyres.
Pick me up, man. I'm keen.
All right, brother. Thanks so much, man.
Good to see ya.
See you guys. Cheers.
See you, bro.
Thank you.
Fucking Lord. The Lord that is Luke Clout. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for watching another edition of Gypsy Gang Worldwide.
We need to get some kind of like sound.
We do actually, yeah.
You're not very good at it.
I'm not real good at it in general, yeah. Oh, Clouty.
No.
See you, Clouty.
Oh, he's upside down. No, he's not.
See you, boys.
See you, brother.
He's still here.
Oh, hey.
But yeah, Sammy, any news with you, mate, before we go?
I haven't really left my warehouse in like 3 weeks.
Yeah,
we're just working, just doing it. How about you? You haven't left your studio in like 3 weeks.
I took my computer home because I was sick of being in my studio.
Oh yeah, well,
so I've got one computer at home, one computer here.
Oh,
straight up.
So then you can change your environment every now and then.
Yeah, switch it up. Straight up. What have you been doing?
Avoiding sleep.
Oh yeah, Sleater has a newborn child.
Oh, that's right.
What an idiot!
Streeter, big on the breeding scene.
Snip, no more.
He's get. Wait, I'll do it.
Yeah, we could snip you right now.
Oh, that's fucking funny. All right, well, yeah, we've successfully done.
Oh, you've successfully done something weird to your
braided me cable. I do it every time.
That's awesome.
We've successfully done this twice in a row, boys.
Well, is it really successful though? Have we tested it? Has it recorded?
It looks good.
It looks good. So did the first one we did that didn't record.
Yeah.
It looked good. It just didn't sound good, or it didn't actually sound anything.
It sounded quite flat.
Flat. I would say quiet.
Dude, Luke Clout, what a fucking gangster.
He is an actual legend.
Yeah, he's a
and he's
gangster.
like, honestly, like one of the best dudes getting about too. He's a legend.
Yeah.
His Mrs. Loz is a legend too, man. I spent 2 rounds watching the races with her, and she loves it. It's sick. It's actually really cool. Like, she's like, yeah, she goes clean off. It's rad.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Nah, and he's doing us proud. Like, he is taking it serious enough. And like, I know I literally know. I can see when people are doing the right thing because I've been there around people doing the right thing and people that aren't doing it enough. And it's very fucking obvious. Yeah. And he is doing the right thing. Like, he's putting in so much effort. And I'm glad
he's talented as fuck.
Fuck yeah, dude. Like, really talented.
I remember when he first... Like, it must have been around that Oakland round or something. And Ricky was saying... posted about him or spoke about him in a podcast or something.
Yeah.
And I remember I like screenshot it or sent it to Luke, sent it to Clouty, and I was like, hey bro, that's Ricky fucking Carmichael talking about you, FYI.
Yeah.
And he's like, I know, what the fuck? And I'm like, dude, if that doesn't make you believe that you're supposed to be here and that you belong here in that top couple of dudes, then fuck. Like, that's yeah,
like, it doesn't get much better than Carmichael
any better
doing
than
the
that.
shout out. Yeah. And like, man, for people that like watching this for America, whatever, like that Melbourne thing, like, fuck, he was fast, man. Like, he was just straight up fast than JB every day. But I was worried about how fast he was going because he literally, I said to somebody, I can't remember who it was. Might have been Tim Edwards because he was really rooting for Clouty to, like, Aussie, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, you just don't need to win practice, but, you know.
Yeah.
And like, but again, that's that.
But it's so
maturity.
cool, and you are right what you said to him. Like, you know, it's the best, probably the best thing that happened to him. Because I mean, you look at any of the like real greats, they didn't win the whole way through. Like when they were kids and shit. Like, look at Dungy.
Yeah.
Like, he struggled, didn't he? Until he became
the G.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was like, you know, I feel like the struggle is what sort of makes him into that. And
especially, man, like if he won that title and then had everybody like, oh, this is the Australian champ. This is the guy that beat Brayton.
He beat Brayton.
Yeah.
Because you would automatically assume, if you weren't like super educated, but you would automatically assume if you have beat a top five / race winner 450 dude, and you're in the 250 class, then you should be able to fucking smoke everyone.
Yeah.
Which is not the case, obviously.
And the thing is though, is that like the pressure that it would have put on him, and then there was so much shit that's out of his control. Yeah. So like as just the rider, like just Luke Clout, you got all that pressure of being the champ in Australia and beating Brayton, but then it's like, okay, cool. Well, I'm not the guy that's responsible for getting the bikes ready. I'm not the suspension dude. I'm not the one that pays. I'm not.
Especially because they put they put that deal together in 6 weeks, man.
Yeah.
Like.
So
I couldn't organise anything in 6 weeks.
Nah, I'm kind of glad for him in a way that it
took you 6 weeks to move your computer out of it. They did a whole race team in that time.
But I'm glad that it went the way that it did for him because he got to sort of, I think it took a lot of pressure off his shoulders.
Definitely.
And then now
I feel like he's like got to fly under the radar
Yeah.
over there too. Like he went over there and like Aussie crew are like, oh, that's sick. Clouty's over there racing. But it wasn't like Clouty's over there to smash everyone. It was just like he's over there racing. That's cool. He's having a go.
Yeah.
Rad. You know? And then Americans, I guess, they're just like, oh, that's that guy that's really good from Australia. But it wasn't like,
that's the champ.
That's the fucking champion, you know?
And the thing is, man, is that there's a lot of Australian riders that have gone there before and have fucked it up for guys like Clouty. Yeah. You know, like we were taken really seriously up until like the 08, 09 group.
Yeah, well,
sort of went over there.
There was those like Medi and Chad and
Burner, like that
Burner and
and then once that other dude went there in 08. And then kind of like the Moss boys, like they did really good over there. But that sort of, it was literally like if you...
It sort of like phased out.
Yeah, it went like you had Burner, you had Medi, you had McFarlane, you had Chad. And then it was like the next thing was kind of hot shit. He sucked over there. And then everyone else after that, it was kind of like, wasn't the same thing.
Yeah.
And I think now... It used to be looked at as like if you won the Australian Supercross Championship, you were kind of just going to go over there and be like a Medi or...
a top 10 dude.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's gotten harder to do, and I think
the transition got harder.
Oh fuck yeah! And for Clouty, he sort of had to work.
I mean,
against
who do you
that.
think? Who do you think the next dudes are after Clouty from Australia?
Jet Lawrence.
Well,
Jet
sorry,
Lawrence.
Shut up, Sam.
Jet Lawrence is like he's
Jet,
the dude.
Jet and Hunter.
Yeah, but I think
they're not even really the next guys. They're the same. You would call them the same class, the three of them.
I think they're on their own different deal, man. I don't even think that you could. I barely think you can say that the Lawrence brothers come from Australia at this point.
No. They're Australian, but but their racing comes from overseas.
Yeah. So it'd be like Clouty. You obviously had like Jay. I think that's the route people are going to have to take. Like, I just don't think that we're going to see guys come out of Australia and go onto teams the way that they used to.
Yeah,
like there's going to be.
They're going to have to do like a Clouty thing where you go to another team and then work your way up.
Yeah, because it's the same.
But you know what? It's fucking unreal that you Reeves provided that step.
Yeah, I wonder. Hopefully that can stick around because that's what JDR was always supposed to be.
Absolutely,
was win in Australia.
Yeah.
And then
that was the whole thing. That's why they had the two teams, right? So you
Yeah.
like win a title here, and then the next year you go to the US. And race.
Yeah, but
which is really cool.
Yeah, but like people, that's what's so cool about
Obviously
Clouty.
really expensive.
Yeah, but Clouty is so cool because like it's such a big adjustment. It's so much like I know Ty got a culture shock.
Yeah,
Keisha got a massive culture shock.
Absolutely.
You know, like the way that you have to live your life over there. Like, you just can't live the same
In saying
life,
that, though,
man.
like, I guess Clouty's probably hasn't been as gnarly for him, because you look at Ty comes from Burke. You look at Keisha, and he's from a similar country sort of background, whereas Luke's more from Sydney. Like, I mean, obviously lives out of Sydney, but he probably, the city thing's probably not as gnarly to him.
Yeah, but it's just a headspace.
Yeah, but still,
what do you want?
Oh, dude, it's taken me years of going to America to work out, like, like what I said before, you can only do one thing a day. I used to be like, I'm going to do this and this and this and this, and then get real frustrated every day that I only got like this much done. Mm-hmm. But now I know I'm going over there, and I need to go for 2 to 3 weeks minimum to get anything done, because I'm going to do one thing that day, and one thing this day, and one thing this day, and one thing this day, and that's all I'm going to get done.
And that's what people ask me about, like, do I like living back in Australia? I was like, fuck yes.
You get so much shit done. Like, if you want to go to Bunnings, it takes you 5 minutes. You go and get your shit, you come back. If you're in America, that's going to take you 3 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just so much easier. And it's so, like, if anyone, I think Clouty's like the most built for it kind of guy.
Definitely.
He's so, like, and like,
he's mature too.
He's a fucking dog. Like, competitive dog, man.
Oh, he's an
like,
animal.
it's so...
He's a weird animal.
He is a bit of a weird animal.
Like
you've kind of got to be that competitive. And you saw that at Melbourne, man. Like, he was not fucking around, Like,
he's got the bone in his mouth and he ain't letting go.
All right, we're getting weird.
Yeah, shit's getting weird. Let's get out of here.
See you next Saturday. Thanks to everybody for watching/listening. Gypsy Tales merch is online. Search, this is the Pussy Wagon tee. Looks like a pocket pussy. So
it's actually modelled off John Brendan's own pocket pussy.
Yeah, we took a photo of John Brendan's pocket pussy and
put it on a t-shirt, and here we are.
And it's on a wagon towed by a motorcycle. Therefore, it's a pussy wagon. So, thanks very much.
TTFN.
Yeah.
Ta-ta for now.
Ta-ta for now. We'll see you next Saturday. We've posted a bunch of content this week. If you're a moto fan and you only like our moto shit, we do other podcasts with other people. Episode 100 went down this week with Bridget Burt, one of the fucking gnarliest chicks I've met in my entire life. I think that was the podcast that's probably the gnarliest podcast I've done, where I sat and just went like,
What?
What the fuck?
What the fucking fuck?
What?
Why am I saying what weird?
So yeah,
the code word is whiskey.
But yeah, she's a fucking savage, and like, that was a super sick podcast. So if you've got some time and you just feel like venturing out of the moto sphere, there's some cool shit on our iTunes/YouTube channel as well. Just dig through the videos. Thank you very much to Streeter, even though he should be thanking us for getting him out of the house with a crying child.
back to the crying child for you, Streetsy.
Yeah, Streeter's like, I can ride both days.
Yeah,
and I can
ride both days. How many podcasts have we got backed up? Like 6 a day? Yeah, that's cool. I'm there.
Let's do a 24-hour stream.
Do you want to do a 24-hour podcast and just see what happens?
Wait, let's just quarantine. Let's just podcast until they open back quarantine. This kid's 3 by the time he goes back.
Oh, Dad's home. Wait, it's like, Dad, when like Dad goes to the shop to get some milk and never comes back. Dad went to record a podcast, never came home.
I'm off to buy cigarettes. You don't smoke. The street is like, let's do a podcast.
Quick, let's turn this off.
Let's do a podcast until it's my kid's first day of high school.
Till he's 18.
Oh, that's shit. Funny. Right, thanks guys.
All right, bye. See you, bye. Oh, fuck. Clout is actually a fucking legend. I love that kid.